In the course of his preaching work, he used to send daily all his followers, including Srila Nityananda Prabhu and Thakur Haridas, two chief whips of his party, from door to door to preach the Srimad Bhagavatam. So Lord Nityananda Prabhu, he is Lord Balaram himself. But when Krishna wants to spread the teachings of Srimad Bhagavatam, then he also takes up the mission and he assists Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Thakur Haridas, he is an incarnation of Lord Brahma. Oftentimes, we misunderstand Haridas Thakur to be a Bhajananandi, but actually Haridas Thakur was a Goshtyanandi. In fact, in one essay, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he says, this essay was printed in the Sajjan Toshani, which was his magazine, and he says there, Thakur Bhaktivinoda, he says that there are two aspects to the practice of Krishna consciousness. One is achar. Achar refers to the personal practice of Krishna consciousness, the personal endeavor to attain Krishna prema, which is our individual private mission in life. And then we have prachar. Prachar refers to the endeavor to share Krishna consciousness aggressively with those who are not fortunate enough to have taken to Krishna consciousness. To aggressively share the mercy of Krishna, devotion service to Krishna is prachar. And then he refers to two verses from Chaitanya Charitamrita. This one, look at this. Here, this is actually Sanatan Goswami speaking to Haridas Thakur, if I am right. Some behave very well, referring to achar. See, achar. But do not preach the cult of Krishna consciousness. Na kore prachar. Whereas others preach, prachar koren keho, but do not behave properly. Na koren achar. And then here Srila Haridas Thakur is described in this manner. You simultaneously perform both duties in relation to the holy name by your personal behavior, achar, and by your preaching, prachar. Namer koroho dui karjo. So he does both namachar and nam prachar. He chants Hare Krishna and he preaches the Hare Krishna mantra also. Therefore you are the spiritual master of the entire world, for you are the most advanced devotee in the world. So this is actually a spiritual master. See, one should read this very carefully. One must act according to scripture injunctions and at the same time preach. So that is in fact what is required. He was an ideal practitioner because he was chanting 192 rounds a day, and at the same time he was preaching. So the idea is that there is achar and there is prachar, and Haridas Thakur was well situated in both. So Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur brings to our attention that those who are, so based on these verses from Chaitanya Charitamrita, Thakur Bhaktivinoda, he points out that the third class devotee is one who is weak in personal practice but strong in preaching. And then he says a second class devotee, he is strong in personal practice but weak in preaching. And then he says that a first class devotee is equally well established in achar and prachar. That is based on these texts from Chaitanya Charitamrita that I just showed. And the point that he is making is Haridas Thakur was not Bhajananandi, he is a Goshtyanandi. And here is a very clear evidence that he and Lord Nityananda Prabhu, both of them, they went door to door to preach the message of the Srimad Bhagavatam. From other conversations with Srila Prabhupada, from recorded conversations, we understand that Haridas Thakur, even though he was chanting that much, he never compromised on any of the devotional services that was allotted to him by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu or any of his associates, including Advaita Acharya. He was thoroughly well established in the philosophy of Krishna consciousness. He was not having a muddled, vague understanding of scriptural Siddhanta. And he was strong in Vichar, that is called Vichar. He was also strong in Achar and he was strong in Prachar. And therefore, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu made him a chief whip of his preaching party. All of Navadvip was surcharged with the Sankirtan movement, and his headquarters were situated at the house of Srivas Thakur and Sri Advaita Prabhu, two of his chief householder disciples. Advaita Acharya, even though he happened to be a godbrother of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's spiritual master, Srila Ishvara Puri, in this pastime, in reality he functioned as his disciple, and therefore Prabhupada has presented him as his disciple. Both Srivas Thakur and Advaita Acharya, they, by external vision, were older than Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. These two learned heads of the Brahmana community were the most ardent supporters of Lord Chaitanya's movement. Sri Advaita Prabhu was the chief cause for the advent of the Lord. When Advaita Prabhu saw that the total human society was full of materialistic activities and devoid of devotional service, which alone could save mankind from the threefold miseries of material existence, he, out of his causeless compassion for the age-worn human society, prayed fervently for the incarnation of the Lord and continually worshipped the Lord with water of the Ganges and leaves of the holy Tulasi tree. So this is the background to Lord Chaitanya's appearance. Both Advaita Acharya and Haridas Thakur, they prayed to the Supreme Lord repeatedly, please advent. When Advaita Acharya was looking at human society in 1400s, he was not looking at the place known as Bengal or even India. He was looking at humanity and the entire humanity on this planet, and he was also looking at how Kali Yuga is going to progress. And Srila Advaita Acharya Prabhu, he is the cause for Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to descend. He fervently begged. He begged the Supreme Lord. This is detailed in Chaitanya Charitamrita. So therefore Advaita Acharya was naturally used by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu for preaching purpose. Srivas Thakur is an incarnation of Narada Muni. Advaita Acharya is an incarnation of Lord Mahavishnu and Lord Sadashiva. This information you will find in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi Leela, chapter 6, the Glories of Sri Advaita Acharya, where this has been very elaborately explained by Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, Sri Advaita Acharya's position. As far as preaching work in the Sankirtan movement was concerned, everyone was expected to do his daily share according to the order of the Lord. Now we should keep in mind that every man within this universe must accept Krishna consciousness and distribute it everywhere. This is Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mission, that we individually take to Krishna consciousness and we share it with others. So it was understood that anyone who took to Krishna consciousness was also meant to preach. This is just the standard practice of a Madhyamadhikari who is expected to cultivate love for Krishna and cultivate respectful friendship towards Krishna's devotees, to have compassion upon innocent non-devotees and to neglect demoniac non-devotees. Once Nityananda Prabhu and Srila Haridas Thakur were walking down a main road, and on the way they saw a roaring crowd assembled. Upon inquiring from passers-by, they understood that two brothers named Jagai and Madhai were creating a public disturbance in a drunken state. They also heard that these two brothers were born in a respectable Brahmana family, but because of low association, they had turned into debauchees of the worst type. In his commentary to the Nectar of Instruction, Srila Prabhupada points out, Sangat Sanjayate Kamaha. One develops desires corresponding to the association that he keeps. And therefore in Vedic civilization, Sangha dosha or defective association is greatly discouraged. Uh, this is a very, very dangerous issue. Uh, what does association mean? Association means this: Tatati pratigrhnati, Kokhyamakyati pritchati, Bhunkte bhojete chaiva Shadvitam priti lakshanam. Offering gifts in charity, accepting charitable gifts, revealing one's mind and confidence, inquiring confidentially, accepting prasad and offering prasad are the six symptoms of love shared by one devotee and another. This is what is referred to in the modern world as building relationships. And this we should not do with non-devotees. And Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur and Srila Prabhupada are very, very strong about this. Otherwise, we could be born in very respectable Brahmana, even Vaishnava families, and then because of low association, we could also turn into devotees of the worst type. They were not only drunkards but also meat eaters, woman hunters, dacoits, and sinners of all description. Srila Nityananda Prabhu heard all of these stories and decided that these two fallen souls must be the first to be delivered. If they were delivered from their sinful life, then the good name of Lord Chaitanya would be even still more glorified. Thinking in this way, Nityananda Prabhu and Haridas pushed their way through the crowd and asked the two brothers to chant the holy name of Lord Hari. The drunken brothers became enraged upon this request and attacked Nityananda Prabhu with filthy language. It is natural that people who are of a demoniac mentality are extremely enraged and incensed upon being told that they must take to pure Krishna consciousness. Both brothers chased them a considerable distance. In the evening, the report of the preaching work was submitted to the Lord, and he was glad to learn that Nityananda and Haridas had attempted to deliver such a stupid pair of fellows. We should note here that Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was very happy at this genuine attempt to spread Krishna consciousness. Even though they could not successfully make Jagaya or Madhaya Krishna conscious at that on that occasion, still the Lord was glad to learn about this. This is in fact our work. The next day, Nityananda Prabhu went to see the brothers, and as soon as he approached them, one of them threw a piece of earthen pot at him. This struck him on the forehead, and immediately blood began to flow. But Nityananda Prabhu was so kind that instead of protesting this heinous act, he said, "It does not matter that you have thrown this stone at me. I still request you to chant the holy name of Lord Hari." Nityananda Prabhu is so kind that he does not mind even the offenses that we as non-devotees commit towards him. He still requests us to chant the holy name of Lord Hari without offenses. This has been very beautifully described by Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur in a poem called Nityananda Ashtaka, 8 verses regarding Lord Nityananda Prabhu. Now, on another point of discussion, how is it possible that the Supreme Lord's body, which is Sachidananda, can behave just like a mundane body, which when cut leads to bleeding? Isn't the Supreme Lord's body, isn't it fully spiritual? Well, the scriptures have pointed out, the scriptures state that this is merely to bewilder the non-devotees or the asuras. Prabhupada points this out in his commentary to the 9th chapter of this canto. Here Prabhupada says that when regarding Bhishma Dev fighting with the Supreme Lord during the Kurukshetra war, it appears that Bhishma actually pierced Krishna's body with arrows. Prabhupada points out, to the common eyes it appeared that the Lord was wounded, but actually all this was to bewilder the non-devotees. The all-spiritual body cannot be wounded. This is a point which is brought out in great detail by various scriptures, specifically Srila Madhvacharya quotes from Brahmanda Purana in a book that he wrote called Vishnu Tattva Vinirnaya. In the 3rd chapter deals with this. How can the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Vishnu Tattva, how can he exhibit defects such as wounds and so on, and